Our southern borders are under attack. Are we on the brink of a civil war? Find out in just a second. Peace, AGG Nation. This is AGG, your average gun guy, and I'm back. And like the introduction said, guys, today's video is going to be a little more serious than my other videos. We aren't going to be reviewing any firearms, any tactical gear, anything like that. Today, what we're going to be talking about is the crisis that our country is currently facing right now on our southern borders, and what that's looking like, and what that means for us as average everyday Americans. And have we already been invaded? Have we already been invaded? That's the question. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. And I'll give you my thoughts and my feelings on it. And I'm gonna give it to you straight. All right, I spent a lot of my early childhood on the West Coast in California, Southern California, and Arizona. When I was in Arizona, I lived in a city that was extremely close to the border. And it's considered what's called a border town. And with border towns, that brings a lot of different issues and peculiar situations that are unique to border towns, such as, high drug trafficking, a lot of cartel activity, a lot of gang activity. A lot of these things are very prevalent in the southwestern portion of the United States, particularly California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. And what we're going to be talking about in particular is what's going on in Texas with the Texas governor. And the Texas governor has decided that he is no longer going to be listening to the federal government. He's not going to be allowing, Biden to not shut down, because the borders are not shut down. He's no longer going to allow the Biden administration to leave the borders open. So if you guys aren't aware, in the past, since the Biden administration, since he's come into office, we have had 6 million plus illegal border crossings. That's a lot of people, guys. 6 million. That's the size of a major U.S. city. Shoot, man, that's the size of some states out here in the United States. So we have been invaded. Our nation has been invaded by a nation, so to speak. And of course, all these people aren't hostile to the United States. But listen, how do you determine who's who and what's what? And then, there's the argument about, well, everyone needs the opportunity for a better life. Listen, that's a whole separate argument, a whole separate discussion. That is not what I'm talking about here today. What I'm referring to today is not about people going out trying to make a better life for themselves, trying to find a better way for their family, and coming to America, which is supposed to be the land of opportunity. It has nothing to do with that, especially if they're going about doing it using the proper channels that are in place to get that done. And, I know it's tough out here, and I know that desperation can lead to desperate actions and desperate measures and desperate behavior. However, this is our nation. Because there's desperate people out here outside of our nation, should we allow them into our nation without going through the proper channels so that we can, help them get that citizenship, or before they get it, we're able to at least monitor them, track their movement, understand what they're doing in the process of getting that citizenship. So I'm not against people coming across the border getting citizenship. So let's not confuse that at all. Let's not make that an issue whatsoever. This has nothing to do with people from Central America or Mexico coming into the United States looking for a better way of life. My concern is how is being done, and how they go about doing it. So again, use the proper channels. I'm all for it. Hey, who can be mad at you? However, guys, the powers that be out here, the United States, we've made a lot of enemies out here. For whatever the reason, good or bad reasons, we've made a lot of them, right? And leaving our borders open, first of all, the United States has always been in a peculiar predicament as far as its location. It's always had boundaries that were a little different than other major nations. It doesn't have, enemies to the west, to the east. We have the Pacific Ocean to the west and the Atlantic Ocean to the east. We have the Gulf of Mexico in the south, and we have Mexico on the south, and we have Canada on top. Of course, you understand that we have great relations with Canada and pretty much with Mexico as well. The issue here is more about the borders being open and the Biden administration not doing one thing about it. Actually allowing their staff to not even be patrolling the borders during a time period just recently in the past 45 days or so. And we're at the beginning of 2024, where they let a mass flood of people come across the border because there was no agents out there. None were out in the field. They were all in the office waiting to process people who were coming across the border who shouldn't have come across the border versus stopping them. They've actually been tearing down chicken wire, tearing down fences and things that the governor of Texas has been putting up to stop that. I mean, it's been a lot, guys, and it's been so much going on that the governor has sent in the National Guard of Texas to get stuff done, to get some shit done, basically, right? That the federal government is not doing, as he should. It's his right. That's what his people voted him in office for, is to take care of their best interests. So he's got, if I'm not mistaken, there's another 27 other governors who are supporting the governor of Texas, willing to send National Guard troops, supplies, resources, whatever it takes to defend our southern borders, because they have a lot of common sense. They understand that just because their state isn't on that southern border, that it's only a matter of time before all Americans are affected by the lack of guard on our borders. I mean, it makes no sense. So let me ask you guys this out here who are watching, or who may say, but Sean, again, everyone deserves to get a better way of life. All right. So all you Americans, I don't care where you live at, all you people who are out here watching me, let me ask you this. Because people want or desire a better way of life, do they have the right to come into your home, take your home, break into your home at night while you're sleeping, set up shop in the bathroom or in the corner? And should you just let them stay because, hey, man, you just have a good heart and all people, deserve a good living and deserve the American dream?
So,
I highly, highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. So if you wouldn't let strangers come into your home without your permission and without going through the proper channels, why would you let them come into your neighborhood, your state, your country? It doesn't make any sense. And then you'll cry about not having security, or you'll cry about the level of violence, or you'll cry about not feeling safe. And listen, guys, we are in an election year. Go back and check the previous 3 or 4 or 5 election years and see what goes on during election years. There's a lot of things that take place economically. There's a lot of policy changes. There's a lot of policies that are up for change. A lot of seats are up for re-election. There's a lot of moving and shaking going on, and there's a lot of orchestrating going on in the background as well, to keep the people really distracted from some of the main concerns that are actually affecting their direct lives. So you'll see all kinds of distractions. 10-foot aliens in Miami, walking through the mall. Whatever it is to distract us off of security, off of everyday things. See, listen, there's a big difference between a fear and a threat. Fear is what they try to create through the propaganda. That's fear. It's like, hey, we've got this. Even what I'm talking about today could be perceived as fear. However, I'm going to show you how it's not fear and how it's actually a threat. So the difference between a fear and threat is false evidence appearing real, right? That's fear. All right, a threat is this. There's a big ass lion coming at you. You're walking out and take out your trash and a lion's running up the street. That's a threat. That's not fear when you run to get some safety, or you pull out your gun and do what you got to do. That's not fear. That's responding to a threat. Do you understand the difference? All right. Hope I made that clear. So we must be prepared for what's going on in our nation. We are literally on the brink of a civil war so to speak, between the federal government and state government, because these governors are no longer having it, as they should not, because the people aren't having it, and they represent the people. The federal government represents the people as well, but doesn't seem like right now this administration is doing such a good job at listening to the voices of the people. So, guys, are there cells here in the United States right now? Are there terrorist cells right here, right now, ready to activate at the drop of a dime, or at the drop of a hat, whatever the phrase is? 100%, absolutely. Do I have verifiable evidence? Of course I don't. Of course I don't. Or I would share that information with the powers that be so we could eliminate that threat. So, of course I don't know that, but I'm not a stupid fool either. I understand that with 6+ million people crossing our borders, most unaccounted for, that that a large portion of those are going to be people who are not friendly to the United States, and people who use this opportunity and time period and administration to cross our borders and set up shop. Guys, you know that the majority of America is wilderness. It's undeveloped, it's forests, it's mountain ranges, it's deserts. There's a lot of land out here for people to set up shop on without being bothered. There's plenty of it, guys, plenty of it. So, again, I'm not fear mongering. That's definitely not what I'm making this video for. This video is really just to say, hey man, what in the hell is going on right now with our southern borders? And to say that here, us at AGG Nation, we stand with the governor of Texas. We stand with all the other governors who are wanting to go out there and protect our southern borders. All right, guys. So if you guys aren't already training, if you don't have you a good duty rifle, a good pistol, go get one. It is your duty as an American citizen to be armed, to have firearms, and to keep firearms, and to train with those firearms and become proficient with those firearms. It is 100% your duty. So guys, get out there, get training, stay safe, stay training, and stay free. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Until next time, guys, this is AGG, your average gun guy.